Okay, this is A Life Worth Living. I'm your host of the show, Callan, and today I'm with Amrit Indra, a real legend.
Hello.
Real legendary bloke. So we've got about an hour together, and we're just going to sort of talk about essentially lifestyle design. Again, life worth living, what makes life worthwhile, what are the ups and downs, how do you live a life that's fulfilling. Amrit lives a pretty cool life, so I thought it'd be fun to get him on here and to have a chat with him, and so that I can and you guys can sort of get a perspective of life on how he lives. Amrit's a musician, he's a creative, he's a photographer, he travels around Australia doing various things, he's always going on adventures, so he's a pretty cool bloke. Yeah. Is there anything you'd want to say to introduce yourself?
First of all, thanks, Callan. Privileged to be on this podcast. I look forward to, how this goes for you. I guess, hello, whoever's watching, listening. I'm Amrit, and I like to think that I live a life worth living. I basically, as Callan said, I'm a musician, so I play a bit of drums, bit of guitar and piano. I teach music to children. I also have recently got more into hip hop, so I kind of perform my original tracks, conscious hip hop tracks, and a photographer and videographer as well. But yeah, mainly, these things are just components, are labels, you could say, attached to what I do. But I think when looking at people, it's often more important to look at who people are, rather than what we do, how we make money. It's more about who we are. And as myself, Amrit, I like to travel. I've got as you can see, this is filmed in my van. There is some bit of mess in the background. I don't know if you can see from there, some boxes and things. Essentially, there's a whole bunch of boxes of buckets. Why bucket? Because I also run workshops at schools, and I basically get a whole bunch of kids to hit buckets with drumsticks. And it can get pretty chaotic, but it's fun. So I'm doing a workshop tomorrow. So I just picked them up, hence the boxes. But basically, I like to travel. I like to. I'm a big people person, so I like to connect with people of all kinds, a diverse range of people as possible. Mix in with different cultures, learn about, the different cultural flavors and backgrounds of people, and different values. I consider myself a person very a spiritual enthusiast, I guess, because spirituality can mean different things to different people, and that's okay. It's helped me in my path. It's helped me deal with different challenges that I have in my life. We all get different set of cards that we're dealt with, either from birth or childhood, adulthood, etc. And as you'll see more in my journey when I talk with Callan, I'll go into that as it comes, as it naturally flows. Basically, I like to just not take life too seriously and not succumb to the pressures of society and, these so-called expectations that we've been conditioned to. So I like to just not have judgments about people and be in the present moment, as much as I can. And just, play, laugh, sing, dance, drum, just kind of cruise through and with kindness and radiate that wherever I go, whatever I do. But, I'm just a student in life, as I believe we all are. And wisdoms I've learnt, and the lessons I still have to learn, these are all completely... kind of lost my train of thought there. Something profound may have come out, but yeah, that's yeah, I don't know. I'll let Hal do some more talking now, because I think I've...
No, it sounded good to me. It's good to, like...
Never been on a podcast, but yeah, I don't know what to say.
It's alright, I've never made a podcast.
Hey.
First time.
Yeah.
But, so when you're saying, like... I think you raise a really valid point, though, when you're saying it's, like, you've got these titles, but it's not just about the titles, it's about who people are underneath all of these labels. It's not just about how much money they make or it's their status in the hierarchy. It's like, it's about who they are, their persona, like who they are as a human being, what imprint they make on the human beings they meet, stuff along those lines, which is, I think, something we need to see more of. But yeah, it's a beautiful way to look at life. So what do you reckon when you... So the van you've got now, and I know all this because I know you, but for the sake of the podcast, so when you're travelling around, is the van basically like a home or a portable home?
Yes, a good question. So my van is... It is, at times, definitely a home. But my living situation currently is I kind of hover between the van life. So it's like a part-time gig at the moment, and between my parents' place. So I was born and bred in Wollongong, so about 2 hours south of Sydney. And I've kind of moved around in that, around the Wollongong area. I've moved back into home for various reasons, and absolute blessing that I did that. And then I got the van. So since getting the van, I've been able to kind of travel, do my own thing, explore my freedom and my individuality, and meet all kinds of people, and go to all kinds of events and stuff, and travel around. But also I have like a safe haven, a comfortable space to come back to, which is at my mum and dad's in Wollongong. And so right now, I'm actually kind of a mix of both. So I'm in my van, but I'm actually on their driveway. Just so I'm using the Wi-Fi for this podcast. But it's good because it gives me the freedom to travel around. I can go for weeks or even a month or two, traveling around, and doing my own thing, working on the go. So as Cal and I have mentioned before, I do photography and videography, and I'm able to, do that. I focus largely around events, and so it kind of gives me a safe space to come back to. But when I'm on the road, I travel, and this is my a house on wheels. So I've got, not really see it now, but I've got like power set up with the solar and that. So I've got like a microwave in here behind the seat. I've got everything I need to kind of have those mini luxuries, of a home, just in a compact space. Yeah. And obviously, the bed and everything. So it's a really nice and comfortable space for me, which I've made my own. I've been on some crazy adventures with this van, and a lot of the obstacles I had was mechanical issues. I bought a lemon without realizing it was a lemon. I didn't know much about cars, at the time, and I'm still learning bits and pieces, but Shit, yeah, I bought something very cheap, and it was cheap for a reason. Well, I thought I was getting a bargain, shit, and I've ended up spending more on repairs than the initial cost. But here I am. I still love my van. I've come to do that because it's caused me great grief, but also great, comfort. And shit, when I needed a space, when I was away from my family and friends. So yeah, it's, she's a work in progress, and I'm transitioning to being able to do the whole full-time van life gig. So my goal is to travel up to Queensland, far north Queensland, and I'm sure I'll be making multiple stops along the way and just spontaneously adventuring and see what happens, see where I end up. But yeah, that's been the plan for a while now. It's just I've had all these various setbacks, like engine failures and stuff like that, that happens with cars, with old cars. So yeah, as I was saying, I am preparing to go up on a big voyage to Queensland and just kind of travel and explore this beautiful country of Australia that, there's so much. And I have seen so very little of it. But for now, the time being, I'm staying at home, and I'm working in Wollongong at a couple music schools. Teaching music. It's not a whole lot of money, but the way I see money is it's a powerful tool for sure, and it can be very helpful, especially when you've got engine issues. But I'm not, I guess, that attached to money that I'm focused on. Got to make more. It's more about just keeping afloat. Making enough money that I'm comfortable with. It can pay all that I need to keep me stable. But I just love being I more prioritize the freedom and the spare time rather than working all the time to be able to just go to things, go to events, not let work hold me back. Rather, work is a bonus. It gives me joy. It gives me some skills, and it gives me money to keep going and keep kind of living this free life. I hope that kind of... I tend to ramble a lot, and part of that is a big part of that.
That's good, though. It's all gold.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I guess, my stories can be entertaining, somewhat inefficient, I will say. But, it's part of having a brain with ADHD. And I'm sure a lot of listeners, a lot of people will be able to relate to that. Because it's,
for sure.
It is quite common. And it's definitely not just a children thing. I was diagnosed at 26, so I had no idea about all these things I do. But yeah, I tend to ramble. So Cal, please keep it going, kind of like ground me when I need to, because I'll just flow on tangents. God no, I don't even know where they're going, and I'll be like, "What was the question again?"
That's the beauty of it, though. Like sometimes that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still around the question of van life. It's just elaborated on beautifully.
Cool. All right. I'm glad.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's really romanticized to sort of have the idea of van life. There seems to be a lot of people wanting a more carefree lifestyle. People don't want to just work for money and sort of slave in a 9-to-5 as much as they did. Like for some people, that's a good life and it works for them, and for other people, it doesn't. But I think for those people that it doesn't work for, they're less willing to sort of comply to it. And a lot of people are looking to live alternative lifestyles, be that traveling in a van or doing some kind of gig economy work or entrepreneurship or something else, basically. Like a lot of people, I've got mates I know that with the pandemic and everything, they couldn't, they had to work from home. And now after that, like after the pandemic, a lot of people are refusing to go back to the office. But they're also more productive when they're not in the office. So, I mean, it opens windows for things like location independence and being able to live a different sort of life. So when you've been going around to events and these things in Australia, what's sort of like doesn't have to be the most interesting, but what's an interesting event or something you've seen that's culturally very different to, I guess, what would be the mainstream, or what's something you've seen or experienced that, like, as far as the counterculture, because I'd imagine you would have seen a lot of countercultures traveling and going to different events. So what's some things you've seen that might have influenced you, or like an event you've been to that has shaped who you are now?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I guess for me, it would be experiences with sound healing in particular. Yeah, that's the one that kind of really, that came to mind first when you mentioned that. So I've been to particular events, both, the private bush doofs and more commercial festivals, events, but also just kind of more like privately organized events, wellness events. There's evenings with facilitators doing breath work, doing sound healing, and the more spiritual realm, so kind of a different sort of medicine that our society at large focuses on. So I guess when you say it's countercultural or not as mainstream, as what the majority of society are used to associating with medicine and healing and wellness and growth and all that stuff. So on my travels I've experienced a bunch of times where I've just met these completely random, like as in strangers, that I felt a very good connection with, and felt their vibrations of love and kindness, and a sense of ancient wisdom, a sense of that these people have a knowledge that is outside of what you learn at school, what you learn in this Western society. And you can even sense that in the way they present themselves, in the way they dress, the way they speak, and sometimes with face paint and things that kind of go along with that. But really the essence of it was experiencing my first, and first of many, and many more to come, I know, sound healing sessions. And I'm talking about myself laying down in a very safe space of people I just met that day. However, a very kind of, would you describe this? Think sage, lit sage candles, mantras being chanted, didgeridoos, crystal bowls and things like these, and just like a group of people gathered here just to all simultaneously receive a form of healing that's through vibration, through sound, the beauty of the amalgamation of music and ancient wisdom and healing arts, And at one occasion, that comes to mind, I had someone playing a didgeridoo, hovering along all the chakras in my body, one by one, and myself feeling that deep sense of blockages being removed, and activations to a higher sense, a higher level, that I hadn't quite felt here before in normal, I guess what is normal meditation, my own meditation and my own experiences. But this was a very intimate, yet connected, kind of sheer experience where I felt connected to not only the people around me but the land, and at higher or more like a grid of the whole universe, sometimes with cacao, which for people who don't know, cacao is like a it's a very sacred, essentially chocolate, that's been used by different cultures, like the Aztecs and the Peruvians, the Mayans, and it's about bringing them back to spirit, connecting them to their spirit in the land. And upon, taking cacao, and which is a perfectly legal substance, by the way. It's like a kind of like a type of coffee, but with a more like, I don't know, spiritual spin, I guess. Yeah, and
stronger.
Yeah,
strong
it's
coffee.
Bitter, strong coffee. And look, I don't even take caffeine. I've been caffeine free for years, with the exception of cacao. I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, I've got Tourette's, which the sounds sometimes I make that comes along with it, and caffeine for me is like it doesn't mix well with my brain, essentially.
There.
But the thing with cacao is being a stimulant, being a it just kind of ups the whole system, and I just get a bit too overwhelmed with the energy. But I feel like cacao is the only caffeine. It does have a small amount of caffeine. Helps calm me down because it actually activates the heart chakra, and it gives that sense of fullness and that sense of also creative flow and like a wholeness, in the soul. That's how I kind of explain it. But yeah, I've had sound healing sessions with cacao, and I describe an experience where I felt like I was levitating in the air, and I was closing my eyes, and there's this woman beating a shamanic drum, just a constant rhythm, and another woman saying these mantras, in a language I had no idea what she was saying. She was saying some English words as well, but it was kind of a mix, and it was a dance, and I had experiences that I couldn't say anything, even substance, psychedelic drug, whatever, had quite matched in this level. It felt like electricity flowing through me and connecting me to everyone around me and the whole universe. And this was something that now I've experienced a few more times. I've actually come to find my own sound healing qualities, and I've started studying a sound healing course, the Academy of Sound Healing. And I want to kind of integrate my musical background, and my spirituality with sound healing, and be able to facilitate such events and gatherings, because I've seen people come out of these events, just completely different. Like my Tourette's just forgot it existed, ADHD, all that stuff. I was just like Zen mode, just like whoa, what is going on? And that was just one example of why found that we are not accustomed to this in mainstream society.
No.
We're not taught about it. So we're not educated about it. But when you have these experiences and meet these people, it kind of brings your
being into a more open-minded perspective and seeing that there is more out here. You know, there is so much more than I realized. Yeah, and I want to keep doing that. I want to keep experiencing and gift this to other people around me as well, because I think we all need healing. You know, we've all got certain traumas and things, even if we don't identify with them, we're not conscious of them. This is one way, one modality to raise our consciousness. For me, sound healing has been one of the most special forms of healing to me.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I know I've been to a couple of them in my life. I remember the initial one I was at, the facilitator. She found it through, she had terminal cancer, so she had tumours all through her body, and was basically given a death sentence by, you know, conventional doctors and all the rest of it. And she wasn't even going, she was going to sort of ease her mind around the idea of dying. She wasn't even going to, like, as a cure. It was just to become peaceful with the idea of death. So, and that's the work she wanted to do. But this sound healing, at least what she says, this sound healing actually reduced her tumours. So along with the Western things like chemo and whatever else she was getting done, like Western treatments for cancer, the sound healing actually seemed to pivot the cancer and it started to regress. So that's what apparently converted her to becoming a facilitator and doing that work.
Amazing.
So there's definitely, there's something there. Like, there's so many people that swear by it. There's probably plenty of people out there too that wouldn't believe in it, but at the end of the day, you'd have to experience it.
Yeah.
You know, go try it, see if it's for you or if it's not, like anything else.
Yeah.
Personally, I think there's definitely validity to it. Yeah. Just in the sense that sound is vibration. It's an audible vibration.
Everything is energy, and energy is vibration. Yeah,
energy will move things. It'll move you. Those vibrations, like, can move you.
Yeah.
In some way.
Every thought, you know, every thought we have carries a certain vibration, and you know, I used to hear things about this. You know, it's not until more recently that I started believing it and actually resonating with this notion of energy, our thoughts carrying vibrations, and, you know, associating that with the science of it, you know, the quantum physics and all that. So got right into that, diving deep into what can be very mind-boggling at times and hurt your brain, but the quantum physics of it. And it's that the more I look into it, the more she realized it's a legitimate form of therapy, and it's the way things are built into this universe. So we're all connected, you know. That's what I believe, where everything is connected, you know, me and you know, as part of this, different fragments, of this shared consciousness.
Yep.
And I think, this theme has kind of driven me to get deeper and, you know, get into yoga and get into meditation and and different things that have helped me personally, you know, with my conditions and so forth. It's kind of helped me get out of this box, you know, outside into growth and moving forward.
Yep.
And I think that's really important for people. A lot of people feel like they're stuck, nothing changes, but when you kind of look into different alternative kind of things that you're not normally exposed to, you may find that some of them work, not everything, and as you said, not everything for everyone. You know, we're all kind of in this together. We're all connected. We all can access if we choose to.
Totally. Like, regardless if someone's spiritual or not, or whatever they believe, at the end of the day, we're all like living things that live on a planet together.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't want to make it the best place for everybody?
Yeah.
for humans, for other living things here. Like, regardless of what you believe, like, everyone wants to be loved and feel connected and be happy and have goals. Like, they want to live full lives.
Light. Bit of light.
So what were you doing before, before you sort of set on the van life path?
Yeah. So if we go back to 2020.
Yep.
Start of 2020. So I was actually I was practicing psychology. So I did uni, I did, after high school, I did a good 6 years of university, just trying to find what I thought was my path. Initially was so far from the truth. I thought I was going to be an engineer, and because I'm, have skilled in mathematics and sciences, and straight from high school, I thought, all right, well, this is going to be what I'm going to do. Shit. I like cars, it'd be cool to like design cars. I'm going to be a mechanical engineer, and I legitimately thought, that was who I'd become, an engineer. My father is an engineer. A very, very successful, highly distinguished professor in civil engineering, and he loves it. He's got lots of awards, and things like that, and he's really well known, on a worldwide scale. Anyway, so he was quite keen for me to follow that path, at least in the field of engineering. And I thought, let's give it a go. So I studied in Wollongong, and I did a year of engineering. I realized this was so far from my passion, from my heart, that I just felt alienated by the whole thing. It wasn't for me, it just wasn't for me. And I'd soon changed to a science degree, and I studied psychology. I wanted to do something that was studying human behavior and, the way we do things, and, brains and, life, And so essentially, I studied psych and went along with that and did a master's in psych, and then became a counsellor. So I was working in a few different rehabs in the Illawarra area, in the Gong, in Wollongong, and it was very rewarding to me. It was very eye-opening and challenging, and it really kind of opened my eyes to another world out there. So I was working with clients suffering addictions, of different substances, whether it be alcohol or methamphetamine. They were the two big ones. Also, cannabis, heroin, whatever. And essentially, that was my experience in the workplace. That was what I started to perceive the world through, and see there is so much going on. There's so much chaos and mental health upheavals and things that people, that's their everyday life, things that they're going through that I may not have been able to relate to it, but I could understand at an emotional level, a deep sense of, life on a quite a chaotic level. And it wasn't until my own chaotic, experiences that as I was working, doing this internship as a training psychologist, my own mental health challenges, that kind of forced me into a wake-up call, a shock into reality, and like a reality check. I wasn't actually connecting properly with myself, with my innate being.
Yep.
I was trying to help educate people about making their own decisions and connecting to, you know, their passions, you know, and trying to help them achieve a life worth living, you know, a life of worth living, that they were sober, you know, that prove that this is possible. You can be happy, and way more happier than what you are now, without using drugs. And at the same time, I wasn't really connecting to who I was. I wasn't giving myself the time and space to explore who I am, you know. I was constantly, you know, working and studying and doing all these requirements, you know, for my academia, and I didn't feel like I was happy. So that there was that contradiction at that point, and I actually ended up, you know, self medicating, not really consciously, you know, on a semi-subconscious level, medicating, you know, my own things, relaxing my tics, you know, with my Tourette's, my undiagnosed ADHD at the time. You know, I didn't know why I was off the rails, but couldn't remember for the life of me where I just put my phone or my car keys. You know, I didn't know I couldn't remember things 10 seconds ago. I was starting to feel a bit crazy, and couldn't really let my energy flow. I was just too much unchanneled chaotic energy. So I was drinking alcohol to kind of relax my body, to dull my energy, because it was just overwhelming. And you know, essentially there was an incident where I went to a party, and I you know, drank alcohol bit too much, far too much, I should say. And you know, foolishly I did drive that night. You know, I tried to drive home from the party, and essentially I you know, had an accident. Thankfully no one was hurt or injured. You know, I collided with a parked car, and I did get a high range drink driving charge, you know, and that in New South Wales particularly, with they just tightened up their laws and everything, it was pretty full on consequences. So I was working in a rehab at the time, right? 2 rehabs. So they found out about it. It was in the newspaper, you know. It was drawn out to like this big incident, you know. I made a mistake, and essentially, I lost my job. I lost a lot, you know, obviously my license, and it really affected me. And it was like that reality check saying, for things to have led to this point, because it wasn't random, I must not have been in okay headspace. I must not have been in a good, happy, well headspace to make that decision, to be in this position. So, you know, from there, I actually learned a lot about myself, and I actually, I grew from it, you know, and I really learned what's most important, and my gratitude for life, you know, I could have died. I could have killed a family. I could have, I was very, very lucky and blessed, I feel, to survive that and to be given another chance and work on myself, you know. Finally, I had the space, you know, I lost my job, which sucked at the time, but it gave me the time and space to meditate, to actually practice what I was preaching, you know, to actually, connect with who I am, got creative, you know, started doing photography, started getting back into my music and playing guitar and playing the drums, and started freestyle rapping, you know, and writing, you know, tracks about my experiences and my awakening, which this all was part of, you know, a big awakening. And from then on, you know, when I eventually got a my license back, I got a van because I knew I wanted to travel. I needed to travel, and be free and not spend so much time trying to, help other people, but also help myself, grow as strong as I can be, and then be in a better position to, if I wanted to continue that path, help other people in my own way. But essentially, it was really what got me into the path, the van life, bush stuff, and sound healing, and connecting with other people that are, have their traumas and that have learned to transform themselves from it, learn from them and not suffer in that space of negativity, learn to, kind of come up with the positive energy. And so, that's why I become very spiritual, and believed in God, and, opened up my mind to new experiences and new, is this light on?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. So this one off. Yeah. So I guess it was a real turning point in my life, that accident, that whole drama. But I'm really grateful for it, I'm grateful that I went through that to get me to learn how to more about myself, and how to grow, and how to develop a life worth living. And now, that was almost 3 years ago. Now I can look back to where I was there, and now the person I am today, and be honestly glad and happy that where I'm at. I've still got a long way to go. I still make mistakes, of course, as humans, but it's definitely a long way that I've come, and I think through that I've managed to attract more positive people in my life, more supportive people who see me for who I am, people who embrace me and love me. And that was a thing that I was actually lacking, back then when I was drinking, and not, I didn't know who I was, because I didn't hang around people who knew who they were. We were all just escaping. They were all just Amrit, come out and get blind with us on a Saturday night. And I was like, fuck yeah, because we didn't know any better. I was young, curious, and we just dug ourselves into the ground. And but that's how we learn, and I'm grateful for it. Yeah,
it's a massive. Or at least I found, like, who you hang out with, who you spend your time with, has an effect on you. Like,
so much.
It's insane. Really, really insane.
And then, like, the cycle of it, we attract people who...
absolutely.
Who feel our energy. And, stopping that
That's
chase
cool.
as well, that chasing mentality was really helpful for me to realize, instead of chasing, like with women, trying to kind of force things to happen, it just doesn't work that way. And I kind of matured enough to realize, if I just be who I am and love myself, then that's the most powerful thing, that's the most helpful tool I can be, and
totally.
People will just naturally gravitate toward that energy of love and kindness. And at the moment I feel really, my heart is full. I have so many amazing, wonderful people around me that that reflect that energy. And like yourself, Cal, I probably wouldn't have met you, if I didn't get on this path at some point. There was some kind of energy that synced us, together, and it flowed, and it worked. I
think it's spot on with the chasing too, because it's like, what's enough? Like, I guess that question comes in. If you're chasing money or women or whatever your goal is, it's like, what is enough? Or is there enough? Like, is it just you make $1 million, now you need to make 10 million? Is that your whole life just trying to, or you've slept with 10 girls, now you want to sleep with 100, or you want to sleep with like a model, whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, where does that end? I think we live in a culture that chases a lot.
Yeah,
I've noticed traveling abroad to Spain, Thailand, some other cultures where they don't do that as much. That people on average are much more relaxed, even though in Thailand, say someone makes probably a fraction of what we make, maybe 20% of what we make, but they're happier for the most part because they're not chasing more stuff. Like, they've got their family, they've got their friends, they've got enough money to live comfortably. And for them, that's enough. When that doesn't have to be enough for everyone. I mean, it's the idea of this podcast is there's people that want to chase and that love it. And that's what they do. That's what fulfills them. But at the same time, I don't think that's everyone. Maybe there's a level of it for everyone, but some people want to take it to an excess and other people just want to sort of meet their survival needs and then just chill. Alrighty, so Amrit, what are some things that you're planning to do in the future?
Yeah, excited towards the future. So I want to basically travel. That is a big one for me. Lots of travel. So I've talked about, I guess, traveling in the van, from the countryside of Australia, which I still want to do for sure, but also save up money and go traveling overseas is something that is essential. And I know you've done a lot of traveling overseas and you've got some trips coming up, which is awesome. Basically New Zealand has been on my list for a while. It's not just because it's close, but, the culture and the snow. If I want to go in winter. And also Canada is a place that I've really wanted to go. My parents actually used to live there for like 6 years. And also the snow. So obviously love snowboarding. But yeah, there's just a lot there that I think could help me, particularly with like the whole medical marijuana stuff as well, which Australia is it's there, but it's very hard to acquire. And I feel like it could help me with my conditions, with my Tourette's, my ADHD, and they say there's a strain for everyone, so that's part of it as well. And just like the people, people I've met from Canada, in Australia, I don't think I've ever met like a Canadian that's just not super nice.
You're not wrong.
Something they're doing right. Yeah.
I've always noticed that too.
Yeah. It's just vibe as well. But I also want to travel to Europe. I've been there before, but only with family, so I'd love to go there, either by myself or with mates, and just kind of really, do the whole Europe trip. Just spontaneous adventures, go backpacking and all that jazz.
Yeah.
I think there'd be a lot to learn, about different cultures and just, opening up to a wider sense of the planet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so with my music, I would love to incorporate my my sound healing stuff. I'm still very early on this journey with sound healing. But I'd love to incorporate that into my music, so into my hip-hop, using various sounds and elements of sound healing to make it that kind of fits with that conscious hip-hop vibe, and building up on that, I guess, broader picture, so more therapeutic sounds and vibrations. I also want to use my piano and my drums and guitar and all the kind of musical background that I have to create something. So put it all together, put all my strengths and skills into something that I can call completely mine. Like I can say that all the music
is music that I've written and produced, with vocals as well. And I've done that once so far with a track that is very much a demo, and a mixture of ideas, kind of like a rock metal kind of song, with a bit of piano, drums, guitars, and vocals. But all these things, there's always room to improve, and I want to work on my voice and work on, kind of forming a little one-man band project. It's just going to take a lot of time, so I don't have any kind of reference where this is going to be, with any game plan, but I think at some point I'd love to do a little project like that. Also, in the long-term future, I want to revisit my psychology stuff. I want to get into that with the more holistic approach. I want to incorporate all the more alternative healing techniques that I've used and learnt about myself that I've found helpful, and incorporate yoga and meditation and different spiritual elements, sound healing, of course, dance and like art as well. I'm not really a painter or a drawer, but I'd love to kind of experiment with that, and just even as just a form of expression, just paint some stuff, see what comes out. And I want to be able to help advance the field of psychology, like be part of that transition to a more holistic approach where still using the Western concepts, with cognitive behavioral therapy and all the other kind of, personal therapy, ACT, and kind of use elements of mindfulness and music and art and things, that people just do for leisure. Use that in a really therapeutic sense because it's so powerful. And through my own experiences and friends that I've met, people that I've learned from and collaborated with, I can just see the beauty of that. How much art in its various forms and spirituality has, and you could say that's two sides of the same coin anyway. Has changed people's mentality through life, and has changed their lifestyle design, how they they see the world and how they express themselves and relate with others. And at the core, that's wellness and growth. All those things. So I'd like to see, and psychology seems to be gradually moving into those territories. Recognizing things like sound healing and recognizing more and more the benefits of meditations and exploring so many hundreds, of different types of meditation. So it's definitely moving a long way. And I want to be a part of that. I want to kind of help people enrich their lives, combining all that stuff together. And this year, we're seeing psychedelics, finally gain some momentum there in psychedelic psychotherapy. And we're seeing that being used in different parts of the world. And Australia has, started trialing that, I believe in Melbourne, and so there's definitely things are moving in a more open-minded direction, and these things I've witnessed the power firsthand, with psychedelics as well, and there is so much power, untapped potential in there. Or maybe you could say it is tapped potential, but it hasn't really been, clinically disseminated, or whatever you want to call it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got tribes and peoples all over the world that have used them. Like, you know, you've got the peyote with the traditional North Americans, and then you've got ayahuasca with the shamans in the Amazon, and all these different tools that people used. And, I mean, it helped them. There's some validity to it, for sure. And even
100%
when they're doing...
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tool at the end of the day. It's probably, you know, it's something that could harm you or hurt or benefit you depending on how you use it. And same as something like fire. You know, you can use it to cook your food and keep warm, or you can use it to burn someone's house down.
I love that, that analogy. Shit, spot on. That's personally how I see any medicinal thing like that. Yeah, so shit. Yep, definitely. You know, in the hands of the. Well, you could say in the right hands. Shit, or it's how to use. You know, and people change as well. You know, so like
fully
the people that weren't open to or accepting of psychedelic use. You know, some of those people are, and I've noticed it. Shit, actually. You know, getting curious about it because they're seeing it being used clinically, you know, and professionally, and it's like, oh, shit, maybe there is with scope in it, and they're becoming open to experimenting with it. I actually had a friend who studied psychology and stuff, and wasn't super open to using substances for therapeutic use. But then she was in a very low place, and we discussed this stuff, and I actually gave her first dose of mushrooms, magic mushrooms in the bush, and there was some benefits that came out of it. There was some revelations and things, so it's kind of just like a little seed was planted, and I think that's where a lot of growth kind of starts to take place. So we just plant those little seeds, don't push anything on anyone, and I'm not about that at all. I think we come to realise things through our own experience very much. That sometimes a bit of support, a bit of encouragement can go a long way. So I guess moving back to the question with the future, exploring the use of all the different alternative, healings, modalities, psychedelics, and music, and the spiritual components, all that stuff. I think that if we can learn to package it into, use it for a whole bunch of different type of people, not just those people who are already into that stuff, because I think it's going to can help a lot of people. And everyone loves music,
totally.
So that's always an avenue.
Totally.
I just, I've loved music all my life, but I only discovered its potential for healing on I don't know, for lack of a better word, a spiritual level, or vibrational level in recent years, last maybe 2 years. And so that's something that, there's probably so many people who love music, play instruments, blah, 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 but haven't realized this there is other forms of music that's specifically designed to train your brain, or for meditation, or, cleanse chakras and all kinds of things that people are coming up with, which is, built upon ancient wisdom that's been there for tens of thousands of years ago. But I think in this new age, this age of Aquarius, all this stuff, it's part of the challenge, trying to package it into our hectic world of, internet and social media and all the stuff that's going on, climate change. So that's kind of a very broad, like a long-term, goal, aspiration of mine. to be part of that cheer, that movement, and help people in that way. But yeah, personally, I want to just keep doing my photography, take that to a higher level, do a bit more, I guess, collaborate with, people that I haven't met yet, that I'll probably meet when traveling. And same with the music, just keep playing music and keep meeting different artists and expanding my mind in that way. Doing all this while I travel, and I guess for me, like I see the fruits in that, and just having a very, I guess, like a loose plan. You gotta have some kind of shit. It's gonna be some kind of balance. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, some kind of ideas, but I'm not very, not like hell bent on structure and things have to go like this and that and this and that. Just have these ideas and just following my natural intuition and my path. I'm sure I'll get there eventually. There's going to be the dips and highs and lows, and that's just part of the game. That's the roller coaster. And
totally.
I'm still learning very much too.
Yeah, you'll get there when you get there and you enjoy the adventure.
Yeah. So pretty much, adventuring. Yeah. And wherever
sounds good.
I end up is where I'm I'm comfortable with not knowing exactly how things will go, or even exactly. I don't know how things are going to go at all.
That's fair.
I'm pretty happy with knowing that I will be happy. I will be creating this lifestyle. Whatever works, try something. Fails, all right, cool.
Yep.
Try something else and keep going. And as if I had to give any advice to people watching or listening, it's just you don't have to know the answers. You don't have to know what's out there in your future. I think there's value in being humble enough to admit that we don't know much.
Nah, we don't.
As humans, we're just we're just thrown into this world. And sure, we've travelled far and wide through this galaxy, the cosmos or whatever, and we've ended up here. So whatever cards you're dealt, whatever, conditions and things, circumstances you have in your life, just, keep strong, have faith that you'll figure it out. You don't have to have it figured out. I'm 30 now, and when I was, when I was 20, I would have thought, 30, that's so far away, I'll be settled down with kids and married and, whatever. Now I'm 30 and I'm thinking, oh man, I don't really want kids or to be married for a long time, And whether I do or not, I'll figure that out, I may want kids, right now it's not really relevant to know that. So I'm happy just to cruise through it, enjoy the journey, and what happens.
That sounds awesome. I think that's a byproduct too of working on yourself and growing. It's like, I know at least for me, every couple of years, it's like I reinvent myself. I'm like a totally different person. Happens all the time. Different ideas.
A new level of Cal is born.
Well, I think I want something, and I either achieve it or I get on the path towards achieving it, and all of a sudden it's not what I want. There's something else.
Yeah, right.
There's another adventure to go on, or something that becomes more interesting than whatever I was doing before.
Yeah, I see.
But it always seems to be better. Like what I want, I realize it's not what I actually wanted, and what I am now interested in is like a bit deeper. And that's been the pattern that's sort of evolved over the last maybe 8 years or so.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny.
It's been interesting. Absolutely.
You go. Ooh.
You do. I think.
I think
it's I think the way I've had it explained to me is you've got vertical and horizontal personal development. So horizontal is where your worldview stays the same, and you try and actualize whatever that worldview is. When vertical personal development is you change your worldview and mature it and enhance it. And then, but you do a bit of both. But over time, if you grow, your worldview will change and mature, and you become more integrated and at peace, I guess, as that happens.
Yeah, that's a cool way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. So it's good advice too. I think a lot of people, including myself, get way too stuck in their heads. And sometimes you do need to take a step back and put everything into perspective.
Just breathe.
Yeah.
Just have faith that.
Yeah, spot on. So with music or your art, is there anything that you want to share on the podcast?
Yeah, I will. I don't know if I did it in the last clip. Obviously, we had some technical difficulties.
Yes, we did.
Difficulties before.
To cut out 20 minutes of us speaking that never got saved.
Yeah. So I wanted to start by I can't remember. Good old. Sorry.
So is that throat singing?
Yeah, that was a poor attempt. I didn't clear my airway first. Still learning that. I don't know how well that transmitted through the...
You can feel it. It has a resonance to it.
Vibrations. Yeah, that's the aim, the game.
So what inspired you to learn that?
Yeah, so honestly, man, I think I can't even remember the specific moment when I first did it, but I just started doing it one day. So yeah, I think I was deep in meditation, and I was doing some as part of my daily ritual. I do like a chakra cleansing exercise, starting from the roots and all the way to the crown chakra, and I do the different syllables and the in sync with the C major scale. Yeah, and I think when I was really grounding myself, at the start with my root chakra, was like I just kind of started going like deeper with the throat, and then it just become. And I was just feeling the sensation, focusing on the sensation in my throat and in my cheeks and like the air, and it was like, wow, this sounds like a didgeridoo. And then I just kept, and I love the sound of the didgeridoo and the vibrations you get from that, So it inspired me to just keep doing that, and I found it really like therapeutic. Like it was really grounding, and it was just cleansed my I just felt really cleansed and with like a very clear head following that. So I kept kind of doing it and then I did it with some friends, and they were just like, whoa, what is that? I'm like, I don't know, it just felt right. So I kept doing it, but I think I'm going to start using that when I start doing, become a proper sound healer and do sessions with people and stuff like that. And also chuck it into my rapping, so into my hip hop tracks. I haven't yet done that, But very soon, probably this year at some point, I want to do that, over some beats, and just because people it's very different and kind of strange, and I don't think I've heard it in hip hop. I've only kind of heard it in those tribal music.
Yeah,
but why not?
Why not?
So
cool.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna see where my rapping takes me. I wanted to make an EP. I really It's been an idea for years, but it's a classic. I think it's a classic ADHD thing.
It takes ages to make one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got all these millions of ideas, goals, and a lot of them get started. Some of them don't at all. And then there's all these unfinished projects or things there. But I guess I've written two songs that I'm completely happy with, lyrically at least. The music still there's room to change all that. But I want to make an EP of probably five tracks, and that will come when it comes. You can't really force creativity. You can't really schedule it. You can practice. But when it comes to writing, coming up with fresh stuff, sometimes I wake up 3 a.m, from a weird dream. And then in the dream, I was rapping. And then I wake up realizing it's a dream. Oh shit! Oh damn it! I wish that was that was it. I was killing those rhymes. I'm maybe I should quickly write it down while some of it's still in my head. And that's happened, and that actually became some of the lyrics in that I dreamt became lyrics in part of a song that I've been performing around. So it's funny how our subconsciousness speaks to us, and probably how some of the best movies are made.
I think so. I think a lot of the best art. You listen to artists from every medium, and a lot of it's just spontaneous aha moments. Yeah. When it just sort of comes to them, So do you have any hip-hop or anything along those lines you'd want to share?
Yeah. I'll share that into the song that was inspired by the dream.
Sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'll open it up.
Preview to Amrit's genius.
That's
unreleased. Is it unreleased or is it?
It is unreleased.
Nice.
Yeah. So do I just screen share this?
Yeah, just a little screen share one down the bottom.
All right.
Then you can share anything.
I'll rap the song for you. Please listen and get ready. Share.
Just make sure the audio's turned on too.
Audio would help. Alright. Now, there we go. Here we go. Alright, is that coming through?
Yep.
Awesome. I will turn it up a little bit. Can you share the audio with the vision? Nah, that's all right. Let's get this. All right. So this track is called "We Are Divine." Here we go. We are divine beings. We are the roots of the earth. The energy of Atman is awakened from our birth. Changing quantum states dictates our existence. Nature always follows the path of least resistance. Ancestral power lies dormant in our DNA. 5D consciousness. Angels help us see the way. Spirit has spoken. The portal has been opened. The age of Aquarius is our energetic token. To strive to be a light amidst the darkness and sin. Radiate compassion from your soul within. Be present. Be the change that you want to see. Speak your mind with confidence and honesty, living in faith and never living in fear. No, activating chakras and swallowing the ego, raising our vibration to the frequency of love. It's how we can ascend, arise above. Be the light, free your mind, redesign, shine bright, keep your dreams alive. Can you feel the vibe? Every moment is redefined. Let go and let your energy flow. We are defined. Yeah, we are defined. We are defined. Everything in this universe has a vibration. Raising your frequency takes time and patience. Gratitude, compassion, acceptance and love. Connecting with your higher self and the sky above. Trust your heart. We all have a purpose. Reality is more than what you see on the surface. Connecting with the truth in a world full of mystery. This is a time like no other in history. What is the truth? What is illusion? All this uncertainty, so much confusion. The more you know, the more you find is out of reach. That's why I know I won't be woke till I go to sleep. Need some guidance if you like, that was just my truth. I'm just learning how to navigate my youth. Respect the environment, forget about the government. Make your life colourful and never stop loving it. Be the light, free your mind, redesign. Shine bright, keep your dreams alive. Did you feel the vibe? Every moment is redefined. Let go, let your energy flow. We are defined. Yeah, we are defined. We are defined. I take pride with these rhymes that I synthesize, kicking it up a level, flowing quicker than you can blink your eyes. I'm like an extraterrestrial wizard in the skies, trying to make my cognitions and my own rhythm synchronize. I weave this tapestry of life with the vision. We are all artists on a monumental mission, conscious creators with God as our teacher, blessed with the elements that fuel every creature. Earth is the mountains and the grass and the trees. Water is the life in our bodies and the seas. The fire is the passion burning deep within your soul. Air lets us breathe. Spirit keeps us whole. We are all connected to the source. We are one. We share this universe with the planets and the sun. Everything is energy. That's all there is to it. Be a gift to the world. Don't just go through it. Be the light. Free your mind. Redefine. Shine bright, keep your dreams alive. If you feel the vibe, every moment is redefined. Let go and let your energy flow. We are divine. We are divine. We are divine. And this would be sung by someone else, you know.
The chorus.
Yeah, nice female voice.
Nice.
We are divine. Thank you. Come again. You can hear me rap another day. Now it's time for me to run away. Have a good night. Namaste. I did with that end bit recently for you.
That was good.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, Ross is playing there now.
Cool. No, that sounded sick.
Thank you. Yeah,
it's clever too. Lyrically, it's clever.
Yeah, you know, your dreams are wise, right? Yeah.
Oh, they are. They definitely are.
But yeah, that's a song that I've been. Yeah, we'll soon record professionally once I find the right singer. To really nail that chorus, and the music might change and shuffle around, but that's pretty much one of my tracks. Thanks for
nice.
listening.
That's good. Yeah, I was into it. It's a good track.
Yeah, cheers.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Amrit, despite technical difficulties. This was done.
What do you mean?
I
just teleported.
Oh yeah, that's right. He just teleported from the van to this strange room.
In different clothes, Yeah, that's just the power of the mind, bro. Just the beliefs.
Power of the mind. And if you're listening, this makes no sense.
Yeah, that's true. Listeners,
so true. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming on. It was great to chat with you. Great to see your insights into life, how you design your life, and how you do it your own way. It's awesome.
Thanks,
Cool.
Carl. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on your show, your podcast. Really honoured to be part of it, and yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun just chatting, and yeah, keen to see where your series takes you. Keen to watch the other ones as well, and learn off different people and get a glimpse into their lifestyle design.
Yeah, that's the idea, to pull in different people that live totally different lives and see what they do that makes them happy.
Nice. Beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you, Callan. Cheers. All the best, bro. Thanks.